we saw Belgium players booed after their 0-0 draw against Ukraine. Kevin De Bruyne actually addressed it, saying, "We tried to win the match. We had goal-scoring opportunities. We didn't take any risks with the corner because we knew we might concede a goal." This is the corner that obviously started with the corner and went all the way back to the goalkeeper. If that happens, you're out of the Euros. It's a shame we didn't manage to score before. We had opportunities, and after that, we just need the fans to stay with us. Mark, you were at the game. How audible were the boos from the fans?
Oh, it was really loud. It was like being in an England game with the volume turned up, because it was kind of surprising, because at the end of the game, the boos began to start because the Belgian fans wanted the team to go and win, because they knew that finishing second they were going to face France, and But the risk was, I take De Bruyne's point, if they'd have thrown everything at it and Ukraine, who had a few chances last 5 minutes, had Ukraine scored, they'd have gone from bottom to top and knocked Belgium out. So I can understand the caution, but this Belgian team has let the fans down there for the last 10 years. They always over-promised and under-delivered. But at the end of the game, De Bruyne was leading the team towards the end of the stadium where the Belgian fans were, and the whistles and the jeers were really loud. And then the stadium announcer said, play of the game, Kevin De Bruyne, and the noise went up another decibel. So De Bruyne just turned around and said to his teammates, he said, he sounds like, come on, let's just forget this, let's get off, because it was like, there's no point, because we're getting absolutely crucified here. So he let the players off, or tried to, and then they had a huddle on the side of the pitch. But it was really noisy, and it was like I say, it was like being in an England game.
Which is interesting because, of course, England, this has been brought up around England as well, how you should be supporting the team, you should stick with them, you should be behind them. But what's interesting, like, if I'm a fan and I'm paying all thousands of euros to go and watch these matches, I can do whatever I want, surely. But as a player, does it affect you?
It probably does affect the players to a certain degree, but... you've got to get on with it. It's not, if it's individual criticism, then it's a bit of a problem, like for Kevin De Bruyne, because no matter about it, he's still their most dangerous passer of the ball. Whenever you see the highlight packages and you saw the chances made, it's Kevin De Bruyne that's made most of them. So as a team, I don't think it's going to get to them too much. As individuals, that's never nice to hear one individual criticised too much. They've got a big game against France. Will they be good enough to beat France? I don't think they will. I don't think they've shown enough Belgium over the course of the 3 games to be good enough to beat Belgium. Unless Doku has an absolute worldie, unless Kevin De Bruyne passes Lukaku in more times than he has done so far, and Lukaku starts to finish things, they've got absolutely no chance against France, I don't think. With your personality, Robert, would you thrive on the boos? Well, I was never booed, Dan, so I wouldn't know. No, I don't think you thrive on it. I think you have to have a mentality where you say, well, if that's what they're going to do, I'm going to show them. But that's not an easy thing to do. I think any player will say being booed by your own fans is not an easy thing to overcome. So as fans, should you support the team no matter what?
Absolutely you should. I don't get it. I'm a fan. I don't boo. I wouldn't boo. No chance. I don't understand that. I've been on the other end of it. We were in a qualifier against San Marino, 0-0 at half time, coming off the field, and we were getting absolutely slaughtered by the punters. Absolutely slaughtered. I mean, what if they want us to win? Get behind us. Do you think that's going to help? Wait a minute. I started clapping 2 minutes into the England game. You shouted at me. Because I was trying to wind you up. That's got nothing to do with what we're talking about. So you're watching Scotland for that 90 minutes, and all you're doing is going, hey, great, well done, keep trying. Hold on a second. There's one thing to be disgruntled when things are not going your way. Right. There's another thing to actually stand there, look at your team in the face and boo them. Right. That's not acceptable. I don't care who you support. I would never support it if it was a Rangers team, a Liverpool team and a Scotland team. I've never once even crossed my mind about booing. No. You don't get helping anybody if you're going to boo your team. Shaka?
Well, I'm not a fan of anybody, really, so I can't pass judgment on that. I do think...
Burley sat next to me.
No, I'm just saying, I don't...
Didn't Newcastle give you the freedom of the city?
I don't get involved. As a fan, I don't get involved to that level. Either way. That being said, I think Belgium fans and England fans will show up to their next games and, at the very least, start in supporting the team. Yeah. And will respond according to what they see from there. So it's entirely up to the players to shape fan behaviour at this point. And I think once the game ends, fans have their say one way or the other. Once another game starts, you start afresh and you shape how fans react.
Just a little thing, though. But that's not strict. I understand, and I'm 99% with you. But the fact is, Kevin De Bruyne explained what happened. And they still wanted to boo them. So,
no, I think...
Do you want knocked out, trying to win the game? If you went and asked one of them now, all of them now, not one of them would say, well, no, we'd rather be...
No, I don't...
So I do agree 99% with you. But at the end of the day, this was them on the field doing what was necessary.
Kevin De Bruyne is highlighting that incident late in the game from a corner, one that they kind of keep the ball in the corner to make sure they get a draw. I think the fans are responding to what was an awful Belgium performance for 90 minutes. Ukraine should have scored. Ukraine should have won the game. Had good, but they ran out of legs late on. But for that, I think right now Belgium are out. And not because anybody kept the ball in the corner, but because Belgium were just that poor all game long.